Meet Milk. Tim was standing in the neighbor's barn with his mom and dad. His family just moved to the country from Windsor, Ontario. Tim loved the city. He missed his friends. He missed his old neighborhood. He missed the rows of houses. He missed playing on the sidewalks. He missed the lawns and backyards. He missed everything. Tim stood still in the barn. He sniffed the smell of the straw and the cows. He heard the sound of the milking machines. He could hear the clop clop of the cows' feet as they moved into their stalls. He felt like he was all alone on Mars. Then he heard a new sound. Mew, mew. Tim looked down. He saw a little kitten rubbing around his ankles. The kitten was mewing and purring. The kitten was almost all white. "Well, where did you come from, little guy?" Tim said. He bent down and petted the kitten. All of a sudden, 4 other kittens came up to Tim. They were bigger and black and white. "Did you bring your whole family to meet me?" Tim picked up the first kitten. It snuggled under his chin and purred even louder. His family was beside the milking machines. He carried the kitten over to his family and the neighbor. Mr. McLaren was explaining how the cows moved down the line to get milked. They got milked 2 at a time. They were Guernsey cows. Guernseys are brown and white. The milk flowed through the plastic tubes from the milking machine to the holding tank. The holding tank keeps the milk cold until the truck from the dairy picks it up. Mr. McLaren told them about the hard work on the farm. He had to keep the barn clean. He had to keep the cows clean. He had to keep the milk safe and clean. He said some cows had won prizes at the Royal Winter Fair in Toronto. Tim thought that was funny. Mr. McLaren took cows to the city. Tim thought, I wonder if the country cows are happy in the city. I'm from the city and I'm not happy in the country. He looked around the big barn and thought about milk in a new way. To him, milk was cartons and bags in a grocery store. Tim thought, now I know where milk comes from. Maybe I'll switch to some other drink, like apple juice. Mr. McLaren looked at Tim. He looked at the kitten and said, well, our people cat has found you. By this time, a calico cat was at Tim's feet too. It was the mother. Tim's mom said to Mr. McLaren, I'm surprised they're so tame. When I was a child, barn cats scratched me many times. Oh yes, said Mr. McLaren. We have one mother cat that hides her kittens until they're 2 months old. After that, we feed them milk, so they like us, but they run from strangers. He picked up the calico cat and said, this one is different. Someone dropped her off at the side of the road a few days before her kittens were born. She's used to someone feeding her, so we're feeding her while she's nursing the kittens. Tim asked, what do you mean she was dropped off? Sometimes people from the city don't want their pets anymore. They don't want to take them to the SPCA in case they're put to sleep. They bring the animals out to the country and drop them off. They probably think that city cats and dogs can hunt for food. In the country, animals have to hunt to eat. Usually, city cats and dogs haven't learned how to hunt. They often die when they're dropped off in the country. How can people be so cruel? Tim asked. He hugged the kitten closer and said, "Let's keep this one, Mom. Then we can save one." Tim didn't listen as his parents talked with Mr. McLaren about the kitten. He just kept petting the soft fur. He talked quietly to the kitten. Tim's mom and dad could see that Tim and the kitten liked each other. They also knew Tim was unhappy about moving to the country. They thought the kitten might help Tim get used to his new home. Maybe he might start to like his new home. Tim held his breath. He thought about the kitten in his new house. He thought about sleeping with the kitten and playing with him. Finally, Tim's parents turned to him. "Yes, Tim, he's yours," Dad said, "but you'll have to look after him." "I will, Dad, I promise." Tim felt happy for the first time since he moved to the country. "Thanks," Tim said. "He'll be in a strange place at our house, but I'll help him get used to it. Do you know what I'm going to call him?" "No, Tim. What are you going to call him?" his parents said together. "Well, we found him in a dairy barn and he's all white. I'm going to call him Milk."